The mind doesn't distinguish between past, present, and future. Learn how to change and heal from your past. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind Engineer Community. Here, Tommy Walker sharing insight and tools on how the mind works and how to start making changes in your life through these teachings. So, one of the things that I hear a lot is that the past is gone, the past is in the past. And yeah, that is a very manipulative way that the mind uses to try to avoid facing the past. But the truth is, for the mind, as I was saying in this first introduction of this video live, is that for the mind, there is no difference between past, present, and future. You can close your eyes right now and you can imagine some event from your past, maybe some fight between your parents when you were a kid, some bad situation at school, some bullying, whatever it is, you can go back and your body, it's amazing. You're going to start feeling the things that you felt back then. So if you felt scared back then, you're going to feel scared right now. If you felt guilt, you're going to feel the guilt right now. If you felt angry, you're going to feel the anger right now. So the truth is, the past is not gone as the mind wants to try to make you believe, and many gurus talk about this too, about the past is gone. But the truth is, for the mind, it's like the mind is seeing many screens, many videos at the same time of things that are happening now. As right now, I'm looking at this screen, I'm watching myself, doing this presentation, but my mind in the background might be seeing other movies. It could be seeing a movie of me being bullied at school, and maybe as I'm doing this, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm feeling shame, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling anxiety, and a lot of people don't understand why, and they tell themselves like they shouldn't feel this way. They that it's stupid that they feel this way, and they try to convince themselves not to feel the way that they're feeling. But the truth is, the way that they're feeling most of the times is because the mind is replaying something from the past. As I have shared so many times, some years ago, I went to visit my brother in the US, and as he asked me to drive his car back home because we were going to Home Depot and he bought a bunch of things for the garden and he rented a small truck to take it. As I sat on his car to drive, and I had driven many times before, like I visited my brother, just to give you a little bit more context. I had visited my brother many, many years in the past, and I had driven his cars, his wife's car, his car, many times. So this wasn't the first time. So I don't know why I sat on this car and I started getting nervous, anxiety, and I started telling myself, "You're gonna crash. What are you doing? You're crazy. You shouldn't be doing this." And I was like, "What's going on?" So instead of fighting myself, I hugged myself. I went like this and said, "Okay, there's a valid reason why I'm feeling this anxiety, why I'm feeling all of this. This is coming from somewhere." So I just sat there and I felt the anxiety and I validated. How many times do you really do this? Or how many times do you try to convince yourself that you shouldn't be feeling like this? How many times you say, "Oh, I shouldn't be feeling this is crazy, this is stupid, I know how to drive, I shouldn't feel this way, I shouldn't feel that way." And we deny the experiences that we're going through. So instead of denying it, I embraced it and I said, "Okay, this is coming from somewhere. What could be my mind replaying that is bringing this anxiety up?" And boom, the memory came when I was in my 20, 21, 22, 23, I don't remember exactly, and I had crashed my aunt's car in the US, right? And my brother was there. And although he didn't say anything, my interpretation was that he felt disappointment towards me. I might be totally off. Maybe he didn't feel that. I didn't talk to him about this, but that's what I interpreted from his face. Maybe he was feeling, bad for me, but I interpreted that he was feeling disappointment because of what I had done, that I didn't do anything wrong. A guy that was drunk just swerved in front of me and I hit him with a car. It wasn't even my fault, but it was a very uncomfortable situation. So again, I was reliving a past memory as if it were happening now. So my body was reliving all of this. So there is a guy that I've been following for a long time. There's two main guys that I've been studying a lot from, although this comes even what I've studied before them, but something I can find out there, is about Gabor Mate or Bessel van der Kolk. These two people have shared videos, books, trainings, lots and lots around this, that they say the exact same thing. Bessel van der Kolk has proven through studies from others and his own studies that the mind is reliving the past as if it were happening right now. So if we don't bring closure to things from our past, the mind is going to use that to keep us stuck, to protect us from certain things that could happen in the future. So imagine I'm going to speak in public and my mind is going to go back into the past and say, wait, Tommy, what happened when you spoke in public many years ago? I was bullied, I was called names, I was laughed at, I was shut up. So, okay, my mind, I could start feeling anxiety, or I could talk myself out of doing what I need to do because it's reliving the past. So in my case, what I've learned, and this has changed my life forever, and the people that I work with, I started working on healing my past, changing the narratives that I created back then. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So imagine that people were bullying me. So I imagine that memory, there's no time. So I bring up the memory. In psychology, it is proven that you can bring back a memory from the past. I started reliving it. Okay, I was in a hallway, I was in a meeting room, I was in a class, and something happened, whatever, right? Maybe I said something and kids started laughing at me. So what I did is I started replaying that, and I imagined adult Tommy walking into that scene, validating what that little Tommy is going through and listening to what he's going through. Hey, Tommy, how are you feeling? I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling, angry. I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling whatever. So what did that little Tommy feel? It's like, imagine that you have a kid and your kid is going through something difficult at school and you go to school to try to deal with what he's dealing with. So again, maybe today you cannot go into his class and protect him, but you can imagine in your mind that you're doing that for your younger self. So I've done this for myself and for thousands of people that I work with. We go back in time, quote unquote, there's no time. So this memory that we brought back of little Tommy suffering, now suddenly adult Tommy is there for him, is asking him how he's feeling, understanding him, then validating everything he's going through. He feels not good enough. He feels not deserving. He feels like a failure. He feels like a loser, whatever it is. And then validating that, helping him go through that. And then what would you do to your son? What would I do? How would I help my son if he's going through a situation like that? I would tell him exactly what I tell my kids. One of my kids had an incident some time ago at school with something like that. So after I validated, I let him express his emotions. I validated how he was feeling. I recognized that. I found the narrative, the belief he had created around this. And then slowly, when he felt a little bit better because somebody was supporting him through this, I told him, you know that normally kids do that because they feel insecure and they want you to feel as crappy as they feel. So they're going to bully you. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to do stupid comments to you because they feel like crap and they want to share that with you too. They want to try to bring you down to where they're at. So what they're doing is because they feel insecure. That's why they're doing this or that. So I start helping my kid, inviting my kid, my younger version, to create a new perspective of what happened back then. Because this is something that is very important to understand. The mind has gotten stuck cognitively, intellectually, and emotionally in different moments in your life with the different stories or narrative. And although you might try every affirmations today to tell yourself that you believe in yourself, that you're good enough or whatever, if you don't go back to your past, quote unquote, to your past, to create a new perspective of what happened in the past, and you start creating a new memory where you are there with that little kid, the mind is not going to change the story. The mind is not going to change the narratives. So what I teach people how to heal their past, how to reprogram, is by understanding and loving and accepting. Today I was working with a person that person was feeling a lot of guilt because of different things in their life. And what they were doing is they were trying to talk themselves out of feeling guilt. And I hear this all the time, people talking to themselves to try to get them out of how they're feeling, how they're thinking. And what happens, unfortunately, is that doesn't change anything. It is just a denial of your experience. So imagine one of my kids comes in right now into the room and says, Dad, I feel sad. And I tell them, oh, don't feel sad. Before, many years ago, we would do this through authoritarianism. We would say, oh, I shouldn't feel sad. What am I doing? I should start feeling happy. I should enjoy life. And you talk to yourself in a really harsh way. That slowly is mutating, but it's still not good, into talking to yourself in a more loving way, but still authoritarian. So listen to this. It could look like control, like, oh, Tommy, I understand that you feel guilty, but you shouldn't feel guilty. You're doing the right thing. Don't feel like that. These people did this wrong, so it's not your fault. So you're trying to make that part of you not feel guilty. That is still control. So you're trying to control how you feel. And that's what most people are doing nowadays. Now, as we, again, mutate from more personal development spirituality into this new world, what people are doing is trying to control how they feel in a much more loving way. Loving, quote unquote, that is not love, but it seems like loving. Oh, Tommy, you shouldn't feel this way. This person did this because blah, blah, blah. It's their fault. Most of the times, people are doing it not to feel. And one of the things that I teach people is how to feel the guilt. Feel the guilt. Where in the body is the guilt? The anger, the disappointment, the regret, the shame. Where is it? Feel the emotions. Then we can go into the cognitive side. But if we don't really go through the emotions and release the emotions, it doesn't matter what story you bring in, it's still out of control. And what I teach people is to be able to love and accept the parts of them that are where they are, that feel how they feel, because it's through that unconditional love that the emotions start dissolving. You start feeling much better because of the love and acceptance, not because of the control. Most people keep trying to control, unfortunately, and that is creating more pain. You're trying to control. So ego is trying to control ego. Ego against ego. Who's going to win? Always ego. So we need to start connecting with source, with spirit, with love, whatever you want to call it, and start loving and accepting every part of us. I work with people that have some addictions like drinking, smoking, porn, whatever. Seriously, I work with people with different types of addictions, workaholic, anything, social media, whatever it is. And to love and accept that part of them that is looking for some type of relief through that behavior. The more you beat yourself up for the behavior you're having, unfortunately, what you're going to create is more pain, and more pain is going to need to be covered up with the same behavior that you're trying to stop. But the truth is you're using that behavior to numb the pain. So the more you keep fighting with yourself with those behaviors, the more you're going to create the same behavior that you're trying to get rid of. So I hope that makes sense to start working on loving and accepting. And remember that whenever you're feeling anxiety, stress, sad, lonely, shame, any type of negative emotions that you're going through today, whatever is going today could be a reason for what you're feeling in the surface. But in the back end, in the back, subconsciously, you're going through some unresolved event from your past. That is just bringing, whatever you're going through today is just bringing the unresolved issues to the surface as an opportunity to finally heal and be able to let go of the past. The more you do that, the more you can change your present circumstances and your future, because your mind is going to see possibilities as much as your past allows it. Listen to that again. Your mind is going to see possibilities in alignment to your past. So if in your past you were judged, criticized, rejected, made fun of, many negative things, your mind nowadays, to protect you, is going to reduce the possibilities of the things that you can do because it's so scared of reliving those past experiences. So it might get you stuck. Analysis paralysis, procrastination, self-sabotage, perfectionism, any of those is just telling you that there's pain from the past. There's a lack of love of different parts of you. The more you practice this self-love, I guarantee that things can start changing, because you created an alternative of you, an alter ego, an adaptation of who you were, not your authentic self, but an adaptation to fit in, to feel loved and accepted. So the more you can love and accept yourself, the more things can start changing. Give it a try and see how you feel. If you want to know more, I have a free training with more insight and tools that can help you with this. And if you want somebody in your corner to help you through this, reach out, because I'm offering sessions one-on-one to help you through this, to help you start bringing changes. So write the word free or reach out in private, and I'll help you a little bit more with whatever you're going through to understand yourself more and to practice this self-love that can really change your life forever. So thank you very much.